This August 28th, lunar eclipse is in Pisces and it's at the 4th degree, which is a major closing point for us. The 4th degree represents home, nurturing, our emotional field, tradition, property, and real estate, and more. This eclipse is significant for the mutable signs Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sag, which is significant because we are closing out a 2-year cycle. We're collectively reaching the peak, the closing point of a 2-year cycle, wrapping up what started in September 2024. So it's good to think back to September 2024 to see what was going on in your life and or like what started up around that time. And a lot to be concerned about, but the focal point of this moon is about how we respond and how we are able to filter out the energies with the Virgo sun, with the Mercury in Virgo as well, to be more political with precision and not Xing out our intuition at the same time. So I think it's also interesting to me, being that Mandy McKinley also described this as the information highway. And it's interesting to me because our current aspects right now, again, are Mercury and Virgo, which is making an opposition to the moon, while Uranus is creating a square to both the moon and Mercury, which creates tension here. Things start to, suddenly come together through some sort of information being brought to you, being brought to us collectively, patient, and also this could come through unexpected news as well. Uranus and Gemini being at 5 degrees is creating a T-square to the sun and Mercury in Virgo, which is at 5 degrees, while the moon in Pisces is at 4 degrees. So again, some themes here are something unexpected coming through, information, which may shift your perspective, your reality, and or shifting your plans. So let's get into the fun part of this, what this is meaning for you, and what practical alchemy that the mutable signs have. Separation is your alchemical operation, in my opinion. Separation is when you're separating the projections from the pain and the trauma from the truth. It's time to sever ties with anything you've been forcing instead of actually being in flow, Pisces, because, if you've been ignoring your intuition, it's time to, cut the shit and stop doing that. Also, I feel like Pisces is very much so done with something and not needing any explanation as to why. So, I think practical alchemy here for you could be to do a cord cutting from emotional baggage and allowing yourself to be in your own energy. Spend some time alone. Now let's get into Gemini. Gemini, sublimation is your alchemical operation, and sublimation is where we harmonize energies. So Gemini, I would suggest to not overload yourself with chitty chatty, filling a void with what you already sense and what you already know. Where you want to go and where you want to be is already know. Practical alchemy for you is making steps towards those goals of moving or leaving the location of where you are, and making peace with the shifts, the sudden shifts, instead of having these sudden shifts rock your world. Using Gemini, it is going to be for your benefit with you actually moving. This could have abruptly affected your education, being disrupted. So maybe you were in school and you're not in school anymore. Maybe you were in a career field and you're totally switching. Like, just things are changing up for you, and it's on purpose. This is literally your path for the next 7 years. Now we have Virgo. Virgo, you have fermentation as your alchemical operation, and this is because you're letting things go. So, Virgo, if there's something that would fall apart involving another person or relationship without your convenient fixer-upping attitude, or without you doing something to fix the relationship, I think you should let it go. You should let it fall apart as it will on its own. Something within you knows something or someone is not sustainable. It would be dumb. It would not be wise for you to continue to give grace to a situation or to a place, person, relationship if that place, situation, person, relationship is not willing to hold their end of the bargain. Setting boundaries with someone, or else you will become a doormat, Virgo. And not to be your mean Aquarius sister, but it's true. I feel like that is thematic for Virgo at times. Another thing that I want to note too, Virgo, is it's important to not do too much right now. Make sure that you are using the Uranus and Gemini tension to your advantage and transmute this energy right now. Transmute these realizations to moving differently. So that is your practical alchemy for this lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now, Sagittarius. Dissolution is your alchemical operation, allowing yourself to sit, allow things to come up for you. Sitting with unresolved emotional patterns, allowing those things to come up and writing that down, jotting that down into your journal and seeing where that takes you, because some emotional patterns that you have been looping you into the same domestic situations, the same home situation, the same situation within your home where you feel like you don't belong. So this moon for Sagittarius is really indicating making sure that you know that you belong, know that you are where you need to be. And if you don't feel like you are where you belong, make those shifts, make the changes. So Sagittarius, this is a good time to, throw away the impulsivity. If you're being impulsive right now with your moves, that's not the move. But making some balanced choices to make a plan to move is important, because we are in Virgo season. This is about, stability. This is not about just uprooting yourself and not having any plan. Sagittarius kind of is keen for that, and I know this because that's my moon sign. So yeah, move based off your intuition, but don't move just based off of feeling something, because feelings are fleeting. That's, you guys, alchemy, practical alchemy for the mutable sign. Happy full moon in Pisces, lunar eclipse in Pisces.